So, a very warm good morning to everyone present out here, our dear fellows of phase 1 as well, and phase 2, and our distinguished guest, Professor Rajiv Gowda, and our program directors, Professor Arnab Mukherjee. It's okay? It's going? Okay. So, I'll just give a brief introduction of our chief guest, and then we'll follow for the lighting, and then we'll continue with the program. So we have with us Professor Rajiv Gowda, a prominent Indian politician, academic, and dedicated public servant. He has worn many hats throughout his career. He has previously served as a member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha and is a prominent national spokesperson for Indian National Congress. Professor Gowda currently serves as a vice chairman of the State Institute for Transforming Karnataka. In this role, he focuses on initiatives and strategies aimed at the comprehensive development and transformation of the Karnataka state. In the academic realm, he served as professor of economics and social sciences and as the chairperson of the Center for Public Policy at the prestigious our own Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. He extended to the financial sector, where he took on role of the director of the Central Board of the Reserve Bank of India during 2011. And currently, he is the advisor of Bridge India, a progressive non-profit think tank established in London in 2018. So, a very warm welcome to you, sir. Yeah, so I would now request everyone to. Okay, so we are offering our. So now we'll be proceeding towards lighting the diya, and then for that I request one fellow from the cohort and one representative from our program team, including our chief guest and program directors. Okay. Okay. Come. So Sushmanjali from program team can join. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to request Professor Arnab Mukherjee, Program Director of MGNF, to share some thoughts and tell us about the journey and achievement of MGNF program.
So, as all of you have sort of experienced, MGNF is a program which is very unusual in comparison to most other academic programs or most other fellowships in a couple of interesting ways. The first thing is that the workspace that you have is not very nicely defined. There are multiple institutions which have claims on your time as a part of MGNF, which makes it challenging to understand who your primary role is towards and who your secondary role is to. Most traditional sort of academic programs have a very clear set of directions coming from you in terms of what your academic role is. And similarly, most employment related positions also have a very clear hierarchy, a boss who will tell you what you need to do. MGNF pushes you in a place where you have multiple people who will tell you what to do. And yet I find that those of you who are more successful, who have been able to navigate, and I think all of you have navigated, are ones who have decided who their boss is. Unlike most other sort of jobs, there are multiple individuals with whom you can choose to work. And this gives you a sense of, influence in terms of where you park your time, which projects you choose to invest in, and therefore in choosing those projects, the shape in which you contribute to your different sort of districts. I've seen many of you struggle from your initial days because, it wasn't very clear to any of you what role you were getting into. In fact, in phase one, there was one person whom I will not name. He kind of called up and said, "Sir, where is my car? Where is my chair?" Right. So there's, as an officer of the government, a chair at least is guaranteed to you. But as I saw in my visits to the district, some of the more entrepreneurial ones amongst you decided to call this your office and put up a label, right? And called it the MGNF Fellows Office, right? It not only was a branding thing that we sort of are usually very familiar with as a business school, but it's also an announcement. It's like a flag. It's like saying there is something called an MGNF person here in a government sort of department, which allows people to come in and at least ask you, "Arey, what do you do? Do you have a role? Who do you report to?" And it's in this way that I think many of your journeys have taken shape. I spent a lot of time in Odisha, and I got to meet the employment officers, and I got a sense of what their priorities are, right? Their priorities are very, very different. And I'm very glad that none of you listened very much to your employment officers, right? If you had listened to your employment officers, you wouldn't have been able to do much because their mandate is very limited. So it's in this sense that MGNF also gives you unlimited sort of responsibility and mandate in terms of finding solutions, finding challenges. And this is where I think unintentionally, all of you have actually met the expectations of the program Sankalp. Remember, none of us are very excited about phase 3 of the program. I mean, we are all excited about phase 3. I mean, but it's actually the ministry that's pushing for a phase 3 at this point in time, because there is genuine merit in what you have been able to achieve. And that is largely been coming from your ability to recognize the nature of projects that will survive in projects. Your ability to recognize who in the district is a person who will push ideas that you are presenting. And that is at least a soft skill, but it's also a very sharp skill, because you need to be able to make an assessment of someone that you don't know very well in terms of whether they will listen to you and whether they will actually follow on with the commitments that they give to you. Remember, it's very easy to give commitments. It's very hard to live up to those commitments. So it's in this sense, there is a whole range of different experiences that all of you embody. Professor Kamath and I, we were essentially thinking of spending a lot of time once the program is over, looking at your experiences. We are very fortunate that we have Swecha over here, who is working on her PhD thesis, which is looking at your experiences. So all of you have essentially remember that's a very deep commitment on her part. This is her career she's putting on the line. It's not just 2 years. This is an academic commitment, and there is that kind of richness in the kind of work that you have done. And so on this sort of occasion that marks the book end of your sort of time with MGNF, but also is the gateway to many, many more experiences, I'd like to first say thank you for putting yourselves out there, sticking with the program, and actually making change. We now have a book which says what changes you've made. And that's only one change for each of you guys. There are many, many changes, and we are going to get into all of those kinds of change today. So I'm not going to try to talk about many of those changes. We actually have a video of some of the changes for Karnataka only for the benefit of Professor Gowda, because I think there are many, many, many things. It's meant to be indicative of a series of documentary films that we are going to be putting together for different types of projects, different states, different kinds of work. And it's also, we're going to use this as a forum to also recognize some of the other artifacts that you have sort of generated as a part of this program. So without further ado, I'll sort of hand over back to our ever-present Paritosh, who keeps driving all kinds of possible and impossible things.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our distinguished guests and professors to allow us to play the video. Okay. Share. Share. And then...
The Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship Program is a 2-year program that's meant for young individuals. This is a revolutionary program in multiple domains. It brings into the fold of public service young individuals who would otherwise not have had a chance to work in a public service capacity.
The popularity and the utility of this program, I think, has been very widely accepted by the governments and lower down by the district officials led by the district collector. So much so that this has now become a popular model, and individual states have reached out to us in various capacities wanting to replicate this model for state developments and growth.
These MGNF fellows have even helped our district skill development officers in carrying out this DSC toolkit, which is very much essential for analyzing the district skill gap studies and also in formulation of district skill development plans. All our district skill development officers, they're all very happy with the way those MGNF fellows are working, coordinating with various other departments, collecting the data, collecting the reports required for preparing this skill development plans.
IIMB ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ 2 ವರ್ಷಗಳ MGNF ಫೆಲೋಶಿಪ್ಗೆ ಶ್ರೀನಿಧಿ ಗುರುನಾಥನ್ ಅವರು ಸುಮಾರು 900 ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸಿಕೊಡೋದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು.
ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನು ನಾವು ಐಡಿಯಾ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸೇ ಆಗಿತ್ತು.
ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಹೊಸ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ, ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ಅದು ನೇಮಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನಿಂಗಿಂದ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯಿತು.
ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಗೇಮ್ಸ್ ಆಡಿಸಿದ್ದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಚಾಮರಾಜನಗರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರ್ಖಾನೆಗಳಾಗಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ ತಾಂಡವಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮನೋಜ್ ಅವರು ಕಾರ್ಖಾನೆಗಳಿಗೆ, ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತಾಲೂಕುಗಳಿಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಗ್ರಹಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿವರವನ್ನು ಸಂಗ್ರಹಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ವಿವರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅನುಮೋದನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಆದದ್ದೇ ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಾಮರಾಜನಗರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಾವಂತ ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವಿದ್ಯಾವಂತ ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆಗೆ ಅನುಗುಣವಾದಂತೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಸಿಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಯಶಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಕಾಣ್ಬೋದು.
Color Tone Textiles Private Limited is being the first industry to make its presence in Chamarajanagar district. Thankful to Mr. Akbar and Manoj for their extending support in sourcing and organizing the job fair and helping us to have the required manpower within our factory.
ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾರಾಗೃಹ ಚಾಮರಾಜನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಗಳು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನ ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮೋಟರ್ ರಿವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂಗಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಮನೋಜ್ ಅವರು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ನಮಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಸುಮಾರು 200 ಜನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿ ಈ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ತುಂಬ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Sri Navneet, MGNF, he approached government first grade college Malleshwaram. We have conducted skill oriented program for our students of final year, and one district level job fair was conducted in the college premises. Nearly 1000 students are participated and many of them are offered with jobs.
In a very aspirational initiative called as the Nanna Vritti Nanna Aike program, which is for school children. And this is all a very beautiful coalescing of NSQF programs at different levels.
NSQF ಮಕ್ಕಳುಗಳು ಏನು ಈಗ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರು ಕೆರಿಯರ್ನ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಶಿಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
We have involved our Mahatma Gandhi National Fellows Phase 2, and they are doing a commendable job in terms of mobilizing the candidates or industries in a couple of job placement drives that we do at the taluk level, at the district level.
Okay, so now we go to the next stage of release of a book. So one of our fellow has authored a book. Mr. Abhishek Gujral, I would request him to come on the dais along with his books. And we want this on the main. You want this on the okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have, sir, also invited 6 of our phase 1 fellows who were deployed in Gujarat. You guys can just raise your hands. Gujarat, UP, Meghalaya, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Uttarakhand states. So we have thought of they kind of shared their experiences, how this program has helped them to grow further, and how this program is kind of design in such a way that it helps the economy of the district, state, and the nation to grow. So I would like to each of you will come on the dais and share your thoughts, and if any special question is there, then we can take it. Yeah, so I would like to request Amruta to please come. You can introduce yourself and share the name of your district, and then yeah. So yeah.
Good morning, sir, Mr. Gowda, professors, managers, and all the MGN fellows graduating today. I am Amrita Girish, currently working as an executive manager in the Strategies and Operations Unit of the Karnataka Skill Development Corporation under the aegis of the Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood Government of Karnataka. I was deployed as a Mahatma Gandhi National Fellow in Shivamogga district, where I served till March 2022. And since then, I have been engaged in my current role. To echo what the Honorable Minister just said this morning, to sum it up the Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship experience, that the program has created catalysts of change, and not just catalysts of change, but recognizers of opportunity. So the program has instituted that solutions-oriented mindset in everyone, that I'm sure that whenever you are looking at any challenge in the district, you're able to see an opportunity. And just looking at the projects that you have come out with, I can see that reflected in your work. The biggest strength of this program has been that it has given on-ground experience to young professionals. This rich blend of academic rigor and the grassroots level of experience that is unparalleled. And that is the biggest strength of the MGN Fellows. And this has been acknowledged by all the senior bureaucrats that we continue to work with now. And that is the huge asset for anyone building their career in the social work. I'm very happy to and proud to share that in the first cohort, more than 75% of the fellows have gone into skilling and education and social work. And now thinking of the Magnum being expanded with around 600 fellows and so many of you going into social development, the richness of experience and expertise that you will carry, the reservoir of knowledge that you carry from the ground level experience into your new roles, whether it is supporting the government or supporting any non-profits or startups. And the breadth of roles that we had to essay in the district, like Arnab sir was alluding to, that has prepared us to take on bigger responsibility at the state level for us, and also made us the generalists for modern organizations. That is a big merit of this program. So Professor Basu was talking about how other states have approached for some replication of this sort of program. And one insight that I would like to share is that it's very important to see how that resource that has been developed is deployed in the district, whether it is sucked into any routine work or whether there is actually any value creation that happens. One concern that still remains is when I talk to my district officers who I've worked with, they say till you were there, it was the momentum had built, and then it slowed down a bit, whether it is district skill committees and things like that. So sustainability of these initiatives becomes a challenge. So when in the next phase or in another application of this program, fellows are deployed, I think it is important to look at that angle as well in terms of how the capacity of the government personnel is built through this program and how efficiently and effectively this resource can be utilized for the duration that it is deployed in the district. We are looking at a window of opportunity here in the country, a very short amount of time in which we now have the privilege to contribute to such an important area that is skill development. I wish all of you a very fruitful and impactful career ahead, congratulating you on this momentous occasion. I'd like to leave you with one thought. We are here but for a moment, but our impact ripples through time. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Professor Dr. Gowda, program managers, and all the SRAs and fellows of Phase 1 and Phase 2. I am Rajiv Kumar. I was posted in Kota, Rajasthan. So I would specifically be talking about some pointers that I've noted down since my chat with Professor Arnab. So what kind of impact can be delivered by a program such as MGNF? So we as a MGNF created an impact beyond just skill development. So as MGNF, we were the critical thinkers in the district. When we sat in those district skill committee meetings, we owned those meetings by our thoughts. We were not there just to sit in the meeting and create the meeting of minutes, but we were there to say what should be done in the district, what is being done in the district, and why is it not impactful, and how it should be impactful. So we were the critical thinkers in the district. We created impact on the ground. So myself, when I was posted in Kota, there was COVID. So my DM asked me, since no skill development is there, go sit in the COVID war room. When I sat in the COVID war room, he said me, "Arey, you are good with data analytics, go sit in the oxygen zone, manage the amount of oxygen cylinders being distributed, go sit there." So it was just beyond MGNF. I was managing oxygen cylinders in the Kota oxy zone, and every day sitting with the 3M mask, I was managing cylinders. Beyond this, we were also involved in NEP. So we selected skill up initiatives, went to different schools, talked to principals, found out what this initiative would look like. And now as we work at, so I work at the National Skill Development Corporation. I represent the state of Rajasthan. So now that exercise during MGNF helps me when I run the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Yojana at the state level. And when I'm going about identifying the centers now for Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma Yojana. So that experience has translated now into my current job and helps me go through the daily routine there. The most important thing is that the program like MGNF gives people like us a chance to go and work at the block, gram panchayat, village level, gain experiences there. Sitting here, we make policies, but going on the village level and asking a farmer, a woman who's working in an SHG, or in my case, talking to a weaver who's weaving a sari, why is this not happening? Why your product, a GI tag product, is not selling? So quantifying the problem, then going for a solution is what MGNF gave us. So we have this opportunity that we did not just create change, but we set off a chain of event, which actually resulted in a phase 2. So I was very proud when I was sitting there, and I'm extremely proud that I'm fortunate enough that I can stand here someday. So I'm very thankful for that. So we have set a change of event, and the chain of events that we have created have changed the mindset in the district. People no longer think in the district that skill development is just a vertical, there's just a department, there's just a state skill development mission, there's just a think tank. There are people that are willing to make change. There are people who are willing to go to the ground to make that change happen. So I'm extremely thankful for that opportunity. And the one point I would like to make is, if any more phase comes to the ground, if there is an MGNF phase 3 or any sort of fellowship, the people who are sitting here, who are involved in this fellowship, are the best people who can say what happened wrong and how it can be changed. That would be all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi all. I'm Meghan Kadam. I'm a native of Nagpur, Maharashtra, but I was posted in Meghalaya in the West Garo Hills district. So I think, as the Tripura fellows can resonate with me, the challenges in the Northeast were very different from the rest of the mainland, if we can call it. What I would say is, like, I mean, we all know what the opportunities and challenges were. I wouldn't repeat them. I would like to focus on what I think more could have been done if I was in a position of power. So I would like to give an example of Nandurbar Fellowship of Maharashtra. In Nandurbar, the DM took an initiative of running a fellowship, a similar fellowship at the district level, because it is the one of the most backward regions of Maharashtra, and the district also is incomparable to the rest of Maharashtra, which is very rich and industrialized otherwise. So what I think, and something similar we try to do in the case of Meghalaya as well, because in Meghalaya, the Northeast capacity, the local state capacity is so low, like, to be frank, that most of the things which otherwise happen at the district level in the rest of the states happen at the state level because they're aggregated there. So maybe if, sir, if in the context of Karnataka, if through SITK or through similar state or district level think tanks, if we could be engaged at those levels with, say, similar or better salaries, I think, because that is the need. I think that is the gap. Because right now there were a few young professionals at that level, like say through NRLM and all, but most of them, I believe, were paid very low salaries. So most of them just were looking at it as a transit to a government job, and once they just exited the system. So I think the work which we have started is has only begun, and I think we should begin from the beginning again by engaging all of us at the design level itself, at both the district and the block level, so that we can build like a district magistrate's office, like a PMU at the DMO level, just how we have it at the PMO and the CMO level, if it makes sense. So yeah, I think, and that's something which, and plus, if by some measure, if all of our insights could be gathered together and centralized and decentralized, because we have similar opportunities and challenges, and there can be cross pollination, so there can be more industry academia partnership within the system as well. So I think if that could be done, that would be great. Thanks.
A very good morning, one and all, dignitaries on the dais, and my fellow colleagues. First of all, a warm congratulations to all of you. You have successfully completed your 2 years of fellowship. And I can really imagine at this point in time what I was thinking when I was sitting as like you there, imagining like how it would be after from this, what would be the life like, and what I'll do. So many questions were popping out, but standing here today, I can very well say that we, as Professor has rightly pointed out, we have created a brand for ourselves. And I think you'll feel this when you go to the job market or wherever you try to proceed after this. So from a program perspective, I think this has been a really enriching experience for me. For me, like someone like me who has come from a very coming from a district like Mandla, where I belong from, and coming to this institute and having an opportunity to speak my mind and also to express myself. So I think all of you had that opportunity here, and you all I think have done very well. So I really congratulate all of you. And if I'm asked for like one suggestion after this fellowship or any such other programs that come in after here, so that would be like how we can use these set of pool of resources after the program. So some sort of mechanism where we can engage these people, a curated program maybe, or curated opportunity where these resources can be easily utilized. Because after phase 1, what happened is we were just sent into the market to explore on our own. But I think what better could have happened or could be done with this phase is a curated opportunity for them to explore themselves or to explore on what they have already achieved. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Namaste. Respected dignitaries on the stage, off the stage, and the beautiful smiling faces, the MGNF phase 2. Many congratulations to begin with. My name is Saloni Parekh, and I belong from Gujarat. During my MGNF phase 1 journey, I was posted in Surendranagar district of Gujarat, which is one of the punishment districts as told by people in my state. They told me, how would you be able to survive there? You don't get water there. You don't have people from the culture that you belong to. Would it be easy for you? That was a question that I had when I entered the IIM campus, that how things would happen. I remember being an engineering student when I love electrons and protons and the laws of physics, I always wanted to be a part of the community and understand how I can use the concept in the real world. But I didn't know how. And fortunately, I would say this is something about destiny that once I graduated, one of my seniors sent me the post of MGNF where I applied, just thinking of maybe my knowledge of analytical skills and the volunteering journey of NSS would be able to be used in the real world solution giving. And that is how I entered MGNF. Once we entered MGNF and met the people here who were from different arenas and with the same hope that we'll be able to impact something in the community, we went out of the campus after MGNF phase 1, AM1, that we will change the district. And when we entered back in the last phase of academic module, we realized district change hua ya nahi, but yes, we have changed ourselves in the form of humans that are empathetics. Yeah. I can resonate all of you. All of us have become those empaths that when we now go into any sector of life, we'll be able to resonate with people and deal with people in a way that will respect everyone's opinions and perspectives. During my 2 years at Surendranagar, I'm very fortunate to say that I have gotten the mentors who have uplifted my core and made me realize that challenges har jagah hone wale hain. It is all about a perspective and the way we deal with those things. That phase also made me realize how much important mentors and teachers are in our lives. Wherever we are in our lives, we always want to grow. We always look at the learning curve. And who pulls us up are the mentors and the friends whom we are connected with. So this is one of the important things that I learned. Yesterday, during one of our dinner conversations with Jagdish sir, he mentioned one important thing, the power of choosing. When we went to the district, we saw many challenges. Jab ek side we had hope कि हाँ हम यहाँ impact कर पाएंगे, there we also had many confusions in our bucket ki should we choose handloom and handicraft, tourism, agriculture, and so many different arenas. There, somewhere with the interest, we chose 1 or 2 subjects, 1 or 2 projects that we worked upon. And not only here, but in our life, as Arnab sir also mentioned about choosing the people whom we want to work on to, similarly we choose the area where we work on to. For instance, after MGNF, I realized that when we are working in the skilling sector, everything begins from the school education. That is where my interest to explore how children learn in the school, in the foundational learning stage, developed. And hence, I'm currently working with the Central Square Foundation, where I'm learning and exploring the concept of foundational literacy and numeracy. This also brings me to one of the topic of understanding that makes me realize that after everything that we learn, all the hard skills that we learn, at the end, our communication skills and soft skills are the hardcore that stays with us and that we build upon every time. So whatever we do in life, hard skills would be something that we'll be learning all throughout the way, whereas our soft skills would be something that would connect us to people and how we will grow. When now I talk about going into the district, all of us carried a bucket of hope. As Amruta also mentioned that we create ripples, we imagine ourselves to be, take it a lake. The district was a lake where we fell inside as a stone and created a movement. And everyone got that energy that yes, something innovative is going to happen in the district. And all of us, in some form or the other, did make it happen. So at this point in time, I congratulate all of you. And not just the 6 of us, but the whole phase 1 batch has sent the message that all of us are there for you. At any point in time, you need to discuss, share, or talk about anything. We are always there for you, in addition to our professors. So good luck for the journey ahead. When it comes to if our MGNF batch, MGNF phases are carried forward, how we can value add to what we have, in addition to what my co-fellows said of using all the data that we have received from all the district as a knowledge hub, We can think of becoming entrepreneurs in our capacity itself, not just looking at the commercial angle, but also the social angle, in the way where maybe some skill of some district can be reached to the other corner of the world. Thank you.
So, good morning, all. Good morning, my dignitaries. So, first of all, I would congratulate everyone who is graduating today. So, congratulations to one and all for successfully completing your 2 years of fellowship. I hope everybody had a very great journey in the districts, because today that now I have got an opportunity to stand here in front of you. I actually, from the day that yesterday we had been here, we had discussed, interacted with almost many of you. So we were just remembering the phase that we had left 2 years back in the campus. So definitely these are the happy moments that we have. A lot of learnings we have received during the fellowship. So if I have to tell about myself, right now I'm engaged with the National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, and representing Maharashtra and Goa. So MGNF journey for me definitely was very helpful in this regards. I was always looking forward to be within the system and the community that we have on ground. So MGNF was one such opportunity that I had felt was the one which had actually boosted me up to maybe contribute myself to the ground. So definitely MGNF was one such opportunity wherein we had received that place wherein we could go down to the block level, to the village level, to the district level, and also to the state level. So the hierarchy was always maintained. But yeah, a lot of ground exposure we have received, which definitely is helping me out to understand the skilling ecosystem in different districts and states. As I was earlier during my MGNF, I was placed in Bageshwar district of Uttarakhand, which was definitely a very everybody must be knowing that Uttarakhand is a place where we have a lot of challenges. And I basically belong to Maharashtra, but I'm born and brought up in Hyderabad. So I have chosen Uttarakhand by choice. And everybody in the initial phase were very surprised to know why was this decision made by you to travel to such a place where there are a lot many challenges, and especially that was the COVID period when we were deployed to the districts. So definitely it was very challenging for us. But again, to the program directors, the managers, and the faculty that we have received, and also the mentors that I have received in the district had definitely been the strongest support system there. So yes, I guess my co-fellows here have almost covered up all the pointers that I was just looking to maybe share with you. But yeah, again, as rightly told by my co-fellow, one of my co-fellow, that we are always here in case you have anything to discuss, anything to talk, like anything it could be out of MGNF, related to MGNF, or the career opportunities that you're looking forward, or the way we can contribute to the society, to the skilling ecosystem. I know not necessarily everybody might be looking at the one direction, but again, yeah, if our experiences are helping you out, then definitely we are always there for you. So I just end up here, and thank you for the opportunity that I've got to share my few thoughts in front of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, fellows. It was indeed very interesting to hear from you. So I would now like to request Professor Goda to share his thoughts.
I have a PPT. Professor Arna Mukherjee, Professor Rajalakshmi Kamath, Professor Anil Suraj, Paritosh Patnaik, all the Mahatma Gandhi National Fellows and their families, my friends who are here today. Such a pleasure to be here this morning. And, you know, I tell people that I never have any envy or jealousy as part of my character. But today, when I see that all of you have had this wonderful opportunity to go spend 2 years immersed in India, in the heart of districts at the forefront of development challenges, I'm a little envious. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so it's been amazing that you have such a program which gives you a chance to go there and see what's happening, what's not happening even more, and to then come back and think about how can you bring about change. And the fact that you had mentors who really gave you the support and the guidance, opened doors, because 2 years is in some ways so little to go out there and understand what the challenges are before actually fixing it. When I think also about what all you've been able to do, because you've been talking about going in there under the skill development vertical, you might say, right? So historically, and you'll see what I'm going to show you in the next couple of slides, you know, we think about development through a set of indicators, you know, how much, you know, what's the story on health, what's the story on education, what's the story on, you know, all these you know, multidimensional factors. But if you can actually go out there and change people's sense of their own capabilities, all these indicators may just be, you know, actually matters on the side, because people you know, end up having self-confidence and drive and entrepreneurial energy. And before you know it, what the government does is just one part of a much larger story. So there are, you know, discontinuities and disruptive possibilities in the dimensions that you've basically undertaken. The other thing, before I get to my actual talk, is, you know, what everyone's talking about, this experience sharing. See, when I was, you know, as head of public policy here, we used to really always lament that we don't have enough Indian case studies. We don't have enough guidance on how to navigate the Indian ecosystem. Because, you know, many of us have studied in the West, and we can easily spout stories and case studies from the American context, but we certainly don't have a body of knowledge that we could build on out here. And this would be very valuable. And so the you know, student who is doing her PhD, this could be something that's quite pathbreaking. And you know, and if you have books like what Mr. Gujral has come out with, these are all ways of contributing to knowledge. And knowledge is basically what we focus on here at the Indian Institute of Management. Anyway, I think even one of the people behind this program's inception is K.P. Krishnan, isn't he? Yeah, he was also a PhD from here a couple of decades ago. Anyway, so let me just get going right into the agenda. So a few months ago, just the night before August 15th, I was appointed as the Vice Chairman of the State Planning Commission. What currently has the name of State Institute for the Transformation of Karnataka. A very, very grand title with appropriate ambitions that all of us should have. Anyway, we're still in the early days of trying to figure out what we should do. The organization has essentially tried to adopt what the Niti Aayog is trying to do. And the new government, which I'm part of, wants to also resurrect the planning dimensions that historically existed in India. So we're going through some, reimagining of our own agendas and what we would actually undertake. While that's going on, of course, I've not been sitting quiet. I've been out there, making sure that a bunch of governmental departments came together to launch what are called metro feeder bus services when the metro line, the purple line, was fully connected. So we're running this on the Outer Ring Road and in the Whitefield area, etc. And the whole idea is to work with civil society and industry and everyone to move people from private transport to public transport. And this would make a huge difference if more of us had the ease, found that an easy solution and moved to public transport. Anyway, so that's been a successful initiative. We need to scale that up. Now, continuing further, that was a Bengaluru focused agenda. But part of the mission here is Karnataka. And the aim is to focus on agendas beyond the city of Bengaluru. And here, if you actually look at the data that we have with regard to Karnataka's economy, there's a mega imbalance. About 60% of the state GDP or more is concentrated in Bengaluru, right here in this southeastern corner of the state. And it's really important to go out and change that. See, some of you are from Gujarat and Maharashtra, and you all have, other cities. In Maharashtra, you have Nagpur and Pune and, multiple cities that, it's not just Mumbai dominating everything. I mean, Mumbai, of course, is spectacularly large, but the other cities are hubs of a variety of things. But we have a challenge here. And that challenge is very stark when you start looking at the regional differences, right? So if you just look at the multidimensional poverty index score, look at southern Karnataka, what was historically the kingdom of Mysore, which was a model kingdom 100 years ago, right? And look at what's happening in the northeastern corner, what we call Kalyana Karnataka, which used to be part of the old Hyderabad kingdom. Okay, so this is just, and did any of you serve in Yadgir, Raichur, or Kalburgi? Some of you did. Okay, so you've experienced, the stark difference. And where are you from before going there? Okay, then you would have, it would have been quite eye-opening. Okay, and I'm sure that you've learned a lot.
Okay, so no one had control over where they were going. And that led to all kinds of surprises.
Yeah, but people chose to go to Uttarakhand voluntarily, I thought. I got that. Anyway, so no worries. Okay, and that's good to know, because that's fairer. That sort of thing is fairer in some ways. You might want to match expertise, etc. Anyway, now when we look at this level of variation, what do? How do we fix this? About 21 years ago, Dr. Nanjundappa, around whom the Planning Commission really developed substantially, he focused on a report on backwardness across the state, right? And we found that it wasn't just in certain pockets of Karnataka. There were backward talukas right here around Bengaluru city as well. I come from Kolar district, and there were backward regions there. So basically, the idea is, now it's been 20 years. Can we look at this whole issue once again? Can we ascertain, based on whatever data is available, what is the status of backwardness, or progress across the state? So one of the projects that I want to undertake is to move forward in this direction. But as I've started to look into this, I discovered that the organization had already made a switch to the Niti Aayog's aspirational talukas, aspirational districts agenda. So there's going to be some creative thinking that we need to come up with. And we need to figure out, based on whatever data sets are currently available and accessible, to see what kind of insights we might be able to get into the state of Karnataka across various dimensions, and then to figure out what should be the priority of the government in terms of targeting and moving forward. Okay, so then of course we want to correct those regional imbalances and work out ways of mapping resources and bridging divides and strengthening both the governance as well as the social infrastructure. Okay. Now, the IT department, for example, has an agenda of moving a lot of the action to, no, some of the action. Bangalore has, sort of is in a virtuous cycle kind of a situation where companies from around the world come and set up here, startup entrepreneurs and talent comes here. And so if India used to experience a brain drain to other parts of the world, other parts of India experience a brain drain to Bengaluru. So there's so much happening here, but we still need to find a way to, take some of this action to other cities, many of which have amazing talent and lots of good educational institutions. So there, one of the first steps that my colleague Priyank Kharge has taken is to drop the nomenclature of tier 2, tier 3, and he says, let's call them emerging clusters. Okay, so just like the Niti Aayog calls things aspirational, these are emerging. I mean, it's a mindset change, right? Anyway, the other thing that we had sort of figured out during the COVID experience is that people could go back to where they were, and there was enough connectivity and enough capability for them to work seamlessly from home with many of these corporations. So if that's the case, then could we, or what should the government do? And this is something that all of you might have some insights into, to create hubs in Davangere, in Belagavi, in any of these district headquarters possibly, where in any case there are major educational institutions, and can we create co-working spaces, other kinds of hubs which will enable them to to still stay close to their homes, which will probably increase their quality of life rather than getting stuck in traffic for 2 hours each way every day here, and to be closer to their homes but still make an impact in terms of in the workplace. So some of these ideas of what we're toying with, these are all early days still. Just to give you a sense of this particular project, and the amount of time it takes to get something through government. Professor Arnab, you would have heard of all these, kingdoms model of policy solutions and windows of opportunity, etc. So 20 years ago, when I was a young professor here, I basically had persuaded the SM Krishna government that we need to do a report on Kolar gold fields, which is about 80 kilometers from here, 85 kilometers east of here. That was a time when the Bharat gold mines was shutting down. Okay, and there was a lot of concern. What do we do with this place? And I had made the argument that the real gold is on the ground. The BGML has some 12,000 acres of land, 80 kilometers from Bangalore, in between Bengaluru and Chennai. Already 20 years ago, there was Old Madras Road, that National Highway number 4 at that time. And then, of course, there's this railway line. The Bangarpet Junction is a broad gauge railway line that goes to Chennai and other parts, which again is like 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers from KGF. KGF itself has a broad gauge spur with 4 railway stations. And it's a historic city with colonial legacy and golf courses and things like that as well. Anyway, the point was, why don't we turn this into an industrial hub and maybe other kinds of hubs, right? And now, 20 years later, when I brought this up with the government, the development commissioner said that she has just been working on reviving this idea and taking it forward. And maybe things have to change, right? So what I've basically been arguing is that this should be part of a larger interstate, regional, maybe a bi-state or tri-state corridor. So just to give you a sense, right? So you can see where we are in Bengaluru. Which industrial hub benefits the most from Bengaluru and Karnataka? It's called Hosur. And where is Hosur? It's in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so the benefits are going. So we, all the engineers live in Bangalore, but the factory is located across the border, right? And maybe the GST revenues go there. Who knows what else, right? And but if you were to take this road going towards the east, right? Just as you cross the, there's a lot of action here. There's the international airports here. There are other industrial activities that are out here, but on the east side, right? Narsapura, as you cross the Kolar border, now has the Apple factory. Malur is a big industrial hub, and KGF would be somewhere here, right? So if you just think about this as a bi-state area, or if you were to go a little further to the east, this is Kuppam, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's constituency in Andhra Pradesh, right? And there would be Chennai port here, and this would connect to Andhra's Krishnapatnam port development project as well. Okay, so this is something that I mentioned to the Niti Aayog vice chairman and CEO when I was there a few days ago, basically saying this is a multi-state thing, so why don't we get involved? And then this whole region could become, there might be a few interventions that's required, but there's a lot of underutilized land, which is very crucial. And what shall we say? Then there's there's tremendous potential for solar energy and various things. So if we can start thinking a little bigger, maybe we'll be able to create some mega investment possibilities in these areas. Okay, and taking industry out of Bengaluru is something that's been done already. This company called Equus has set up in Belgavi, in Belgaum, an SEZ, and there's a whole story about how it evolved and how it has really succeeded over the last decade and a half. Okay, and it's an aerospace cluster. They've also gone and diversified now in other areas and trying to trigger investment into a Koppal toy cluster, a Hubballi durable goods cluster, and then they're working on skill training and other kinds of even teacher training, other kinds of multidimensional interventions. Okay, so those are some of the possibilities. So when I and the chief minister and I were basically discussing, he's the chairman, what should be our agenda? One of, what should be my mission statement here? One of the mission statements is my job is to make every minister successful, and the ministry itself successful in some ways. To be, everyone's caught in their own routine, in their own silo. How do we break out of that to some extent, right? That's the agenda. And of course, the real challenge is, and this is one of the things that Mr. Gujral's book focuses on, is agriculture. Across the country, the number of people still dependent on agriculture is more than 50%. The share of GDP that comes from agriculture is about 15% or less. And as a result, you have migration, distress migration, the feminization of agriculture, the hollowing out of villages, lots of things that are happening. And so how do you fix that? What can you do? And, it's not like it's not been done before. If you think about the dairy cooperative movement, what Mr. Kurian and Amul did in Gujarat, here in Karnataka, the dairy cooperative movement was founded by my late uncle, M.V. Krishnappa. And now it has become Nandini and the brand and all kinds of marketing, right? Which were never envisaged when on the day in the 1960s when it was set up. It was basically an idea of getting more people to have a second income. Okay, and through dairy farming. And of course, it's opened up other possibilities. Well, similar organizational interventions, cooperatives, farmer-producer organizations, numerous other solutions like that may be required. Branding, organic labeling, source, pointing out where the source is, all that sort of thing would make a huge difference. And there are other reports that we're looking at, so I'm not claiming any credit for this. This is from Vision Karnataka Foundation, suggesting that agribusiness corridors could also be brought in, that you could create other kinds of, get local youngsters involved as entrepreneurs. So all these are possibilities. Then, of course, we need to do something more with the regular service sector and the manufacturing and industry sector. Okay. Tourism, underutilized, or the potential is underexploited in some ways. The neighboring state of Kerala is, Amitabh Kant, coined God's own country, and it's never looked back. right? Okay, it's been a great, this tremendous tourism action in Kerala. The neighboring state here for us, Goa, is another tourism hub. And during COVID, the other lesson that we all picked up was, this whole idea of Goa becoming a home for people who were going to work remotely. And actually, what shall we say? I do know that in Goa, the tourism minister or whoever, or the IT minister, is focused on trying to get the government to allow visas for what they call digital nomads, people from around the world who want to work remotely from someplace, right? So all these possibilities. But if you think about Karnataka, we're on the same coast. We all border the same sea, and why aren't we doing something about that? And that's just the coast. If you think about the interior, recently the Hoysala ensemble, Belur, Halebid, and Somnathpura were recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We've got more. We've got tremendous possibilities. We need to both promote them, but we also need to invest more in infrastructure, in skilling people to make that whole experience seamless. And the nice thing is already tourism is one of those industries that actually take money into the heartland, right? Every coffee estate owner who has a homestay and gets a second income out of that is changing their own personal economics. Anyway, this is just, and of course, 20, 30 years ago, we had a movie called Gandha the Gudi, which basically means, not 50 years ago, sorry, basically, which means forest of sandalwood. This is Karnataka. We've got tremendous, wildlife and forest heritage, and a lot of possibility, right? Anyways, manufacturing, given that we never thought of ourselves as, hardcore manufacturing economy, but with Industry 4.0 and other ways in which manufacturing itself is changing, taking advantage of the software skills, we might be able to do more, right? So that sort of thing. Okay. And then we want to, as part of the local Niti Aayog equivalent, collect, clean up, and put out data for people to work with and to give us new insights of various kinds. And in 2018, we had done a series of seminars. I think Professor Arnab was the one hosting these on innovative Karnataka. Showcase wonderful programs which the government had undertaken. And we need to replicate that again. Because one of the things that pervades the government sector is a sense of, oh, we're not doing anything great, all the action is somewhere else. When there is so much good action, let's turn that mood around, make it more positive. Let's figure out how one can learn from the other, right? And then, of course, I was thinking that the planning department produces an economic survey every year. Maybe we can, work with that and, make it a document that sets the agenda in different ways. Work with all of you and get inputs on what went right, what went wrong. Possibly work with all of you to create the local equivalent of the Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship, and work, of course, with lots of think tanks and academic institutions. Actually, if you think about just Bengaluru, the amount of intellectual talent in the social entrepreneurial space, in the academic space focused on the public sector, there's just a tremendous amount. But when you're in the beautiful environs of IIM, you don't feel like stepping out and engaging with anyone else. Okay. Anyway, so this is the point, right? When I was also here for 14 years as a professor, I would meet my colleagues from IISc in the airport or in some other city at a conference, but we would rarely take on the challenge of Bengaluru's traffic to go to Malleshwaram, right? So all this we need to overcome. And now, after everyone uses Zoom and things of that sort, it's eminently possible to, build bridges and fill gaps which exist, but which essentially mean that we're underutilizing the intellectual capital that's here and across the state, across the country and the world. Anyway, these are some of the ideas that I'm trying to focus on. And ultimately, we want to get to 2 dimensions. This is also from the Chief Minister. He said, why don't you revive the district inputs to the planning process and to the budget budget process. And so that's one of the things. It's going to be tough to do all this in the next 1 month. But one of the thoughts that I had was, since about 27 districts of Karnataka are represented here, maybe we could have one session where all of you come either physically or virtually and give us your inputs, right? I mean, normally the process would involve getting inputs from the Zilla Parishad CEO and the deputy commissioner, the district collector. But why not get your inputs as well? You know, this will help us. So think of it as a homework assignment. You know, you're going to come back to me with your inputs on what's right or what's wrong in the district that you work, what should be the priorities. And we could even get the DCs and the CEOs involved in listening to you, so that there's some feedback and interaction that comes from this experience. So that's one. And then ultimately, we want to emerge as, Mr. Siddaramaya's legacy. This is his second term as chief minister. You know, we have different chief ministers who had their legacies. Mr. Devaraja's is land reform and social justice. Ramakrishna Hegde is decentralization and local self-governance. And one of his ministers, Nazir Saab, took water to villages and things like that. Okay, at least drinking water to villages like that. So one of the things that we are thinking about is, Sri Siddaramaya's legacy should be a Karnataka model of development, which has certain dimensions, right? When I was discussing it with him, I said, Gujarat is growth without equity, and Kerala is probably equity without growth. But we should be both equity and growth and sustainability. When we talk growth, it should be sustainable growth. And when we talk about equity, we also are interested in inclusion, geographic, but inclusion, socio-economic and regional. But, and then the other feature, of course, that we want to make sure is social harmony. If you listen to the Karnataka anthem, we see ourselves as Sarva Janangada Shantiya Thota. We are the peaceful garden of all communities, and we want to emphasize that, okay? Because that's not always been our recent history. Anyway, so this is the broad agenda. It's still early days, but I'm looking forward to working with all of you and gaining from your experiences and insights, and of course, from my former colleagues. And let's do some wonderful things for Karnataka and India together. Thank you for having me. All the very best in the rest of your careers.
Thank you so much, sir, for your detailed analysis, and I hope our fellows will contribute to your expectations. Now we'll be heading towards next phase, that is awarding the top performers. So we have two categories of top performers. One is academic, and the other one is nominated by the state cohort based upon their engagement and this thing. So first we'll be calling upon the academic top performers, and so we'll start up with Goa. Okay, so for Goa, are we ready with the? Yeah, okay. So Goa. So Goa, Shama Pradeep Kamble. He is deployed in South Goa district. So next is Haryana, Nitin Kumar, deployed in Mahendragarh district. For Karnataka, we have HP Manoj, Chamarajnagar. For Odisha, we have Debashish Acharya. From Tripura, we have Gargi Sur. And for Uttarakhand, we have Shelja Santore. Now, moving on to the next category of best performers. Actually, we did some voting from their own fellows. So, because a lot of activities they do, no, in groups and all. So, we thought of introducing this as a next category. So, for Goa again, we have not Shama, Bindya Gatkar. From Haryana, Akshay Kumar. Karnataka, Ashish Shetty. Yeah. For Odisha, we had a tie between two of them. So both of them, please come on the stage. Pallavi Mishra and Balbhadra Senapati. In Tripura, fellow selected Subhashish Mandal. And from Uttarakhand, we have Kartikeya Kotnala. Thank you, sir. Now, guys, we'll be taking a small break for tea. We'll join outside, and then we'll resume the distribution of the certificates in 10 minutes from now. So
5 minutes.
Five. Okay.
Let's think about how we can. नहीं आप एक के बाद एक नाम बोलते रहो हिंदू हाँ तो वो कहाँ है फोल्डर
So, Paritosh, everyone knows the order in which they're coming?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'd just for smooth flow of people, I'd just like to request that, which is the first state?
Goa.
So from Goa, why don't you just already get up and be on this side, right? And after Goa, we have Haryana. So you just follow up in line from there. You come up on this side, left side, right? And then you exit from the other side. Okay. Otherwise, we'll just sort of take a lot of time just going through this entire thing. Once you come up,
where's the photographer? Where's the good spot to hand over? This side. So there's a mark over here. So you kind of stand here, right? Everyone listening to me? So you come stand over here and you take the certificate from either map or myself. Okay. So that's the plan of action. If we call you from this side, please come and exit from that side because somebody else is going to be coming behind you. Okay. All right. So,
can we have a demo? Can we have a demo?
अरे नहीं तुम लोगों को डेमो क्या तुम लोग आई विल कॉल यू नो बिंदिया यू आर द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू गो यहाँ से आओ ना इससे
यहाँ से
हाँ
come here, you stand here. And come up here. And you leave it from there. So he's going to be here. So either you can give him phone camera to somebody else. They have to practice very well. And then okay, should we begin?
Yeah.
Okay, so for I guess not the last time. Congratulations, and we're going to start off the convocation process. Okay, all right. So,
बिंदिया उसी ऑर्डर में ही है Yeah, so we'll start. Bindiya Gadkar. Shama. तुम लोग वो फोल्डर यहाँ रखो ना सर क्यों आगे लेके ठीक है लेके यहाँ आ जाओ ना ओके अभिषेक गुजराल हरियाणा उधर उधर आगे आगे क्या कौन सा ले आए अभिषेक इज रेडी अभिषेक गुजराल अभिषेक सैनी, यार अभिषेक तुम तो करो ना, यू हैव दैट लिस्ट राइट अभिषेक, ओपन दैट नो. आदित्य कुटियाल, अक्षय कुमार, सर स्टेट वाइज कर लेंगे क्या, एक एक स्टेट का है ना, वो आप लोगों को अंजलि रानी, अनुप्रिया खुराना, क्यों, मैं तो नाम लूंगा, ऐसा नहीं. दीपिका यादव, हितेश, दैट्स एट दैट उस जयदीप मेहरा, निशा, नितिन कुमार, राहुल चावला, राहुल सैनी, कर्नाटका गाइस, just you can just come here, no? शुभम सिंह, guys please clap no actively. श्वेता तिकड़े, सोनम यादव, सौरभ कुमार सोनी, सुनील, स्वाति अग्रवाल, अब नाउ कर्नाटका, कर्नाटका, अर्चना एम, आशीष शेट्टी, एचपी मनोज, जगदीश नायक, किरण एल, मंजुनाथ, मोहित गौड़ा, ओडिशा गाइस, ओडिशा, 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 नवनीत, ओडिशा आ गया, ओडिशा मंगा लो, ओडिशा। प्रियंका पाटिल, साई किरण, श्री नंदन, श्रीनिधि, वरुण के, नाउ ओडिशा, अदिति कर, यहां तक आ जाओ ना, यहां तक। अध्याशा, ऐश्वर्या, बलभद्र, भूमिया, देवाशीष आचार्य, देवव्रत दास, देवाशीष राहुल, ज्योतिर्मय, लिजालिन, मधुस्मिता, मनीष कुमार, मेघा अग्रवाल। क्लैप भाई, क्या हो गया? As soon as you are getting the certificates, you are stopping. No. मिताली पटनायक, Mukesh Sahu. Pallavi Mishra. Pranay Sahu. Prarthana. Pulak. Rajiv. Tasmini. Shanti Murmu. So few days back, Senior Murmu was here. So again, Shobit. Sudhasri. Sushanta Sahu. I think he's not here. Who is taking it on his behalf? Chalo tum hi aa jao. So actually, he had to leave for some unavoidable this thing. हाँ ले लो. Photo मतलब खींचो. Edit कर देंगे. We'll send the pic of the real person, then उसको edit कर देना. Okay. So Swadesh. Tripura guys. Tapaswini Das. Udayan. So Tripura now, okay? Okay. So Ashish Paul. Asit. Pimki Das. Debasmita. Gargi. Soheli.
And be positive.
Subhashish. So now fellows from the hills. Kartikeya. And Shalja. Okay, so thank you, professors, and thank you, team, and thank you, fellows, for accepting the certificates. And I would now like to request Professor Kamath to give the vote of thanks.
I think first of all, a good loud round of applause for all of you all. And it's a very memorable morning. And of course, memorable to you, but memorable to us also. But we mustn't forget the hard work that was put for having this program by a lot of people working behind the scenes, the program team, the SRAs, the people involved with the administration. Thank you to you all, and thank you to you. All of us here wish you a long and a fruitful journey ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. So with this, we call off this convocation ceremony. And now we'll be heading towards MDC, where we'll be having lunch, and we can have pics with professors. And so
I see some parents and family members are here. Please join us for lunch as well.
yeah.
We have no other plans.
क्या हो गया कुछ? And I had mailed the plan for after this, everybody is aware, right? Like after lunch, what is going to happen? Who is going to back to the new campus? Who is staying back? Who is going for the appearing for the interviews with the NSDC guys and all, right? No. Okay. So now we don't actually.
Sir, excuse me, I would just want to say.
Please.
Guys, hello. Just a small thing I would like to say and conclude from my side, from our side. See, we started this journey as person who are seeking support in the district, but in this 2 years journey, I realize that we are the support. So from onwards, be the support. Don't seek support, be the support. Thank you.
In case anyone wants to come up and say something, this is, I guess this is the last chance that you have to say something. So, yeah, okay, great. Hello, everyone. I think so. It's been a quite 2 years wonderful journey, and I would like to thank the professors who were guiding in all the way throughout this journey. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. And I would also like to thank our cohort members. I mean, especially all the cohort members who were partful in my journey also. And I would like to thank especially our Karnataka cohort members who were helpful. Yeah. And they were like, I mean, accommodative, and they are like very, I mean, I think so this is the first time I'm engaging so closely with our cohort members sort of thing. And I would also like to thank our SRA, Guru Prasad sir, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, sir. And all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you, guys.
Hello, everyone. So for one last time, I am Swati Agarwal, MGN Fellow, Charkhi Dadri, Haryana. And I would say these 2 years, we all started with a lot of speculations, a lot of doubts. And now today, as we sum up this 2-year journey, it was a quite an enlightening experience. The conversion from an asset to a liability to an asset has been truly, truly experiential. I would really like to thank our program team, our faculty mentors, as well as the entire cohort for being such a lovely cohort and being supportful and being encouraging throughout this 2-year experience. Thank you so much.
हेलो एवरीवन। सो आज हमारा लास्ट डे आईआईएम में, तो बहुत सारी यादें इस कैंपस के साथ हमारी। एएम जितने भी हमारे एकेडमिक मॉड्यूल निकले वाज द बेस्ट टाइम स्पेंड विद यू गाइस, लाइक द टी ब्रेक्स, द lectures in the faculty, the like somehow the group, we used to talk like the teacher when he's teaching us, and we are just sharing the memes in the group. That was the best thing we had. Sorry, sir. And so, like, like apart from the district administration, apart from the district administration experience, the IIM experience was the best experience we all had, I think. So, all the best for your future, and literally we all are gonna miss each other, I think so. And you all are invited for my marriage, that is on 18th 18th of Feb. So you all are invited to my place, Gurgaon. So I'm looking forward to just host you guys. So please be my guest. Sure, I'll book train for you. Okay. Goodbye, guys. Bye.
I think everyone has already spoken about how much we'll miss each other, and I'll definitely miss everyone. We had so much fun. One thing I'd like to add, sir. Yesterday, at the end of the presentation, one of our faculty mentors, Dr. Bandi sir, said one sentence, which was that it was a humbling experience for him that he learned so much from the districts when he saw the presentations, and that itself was such a boost of confidence for all of us. I think we'll do wonders. I'm pretty sure of it, sir. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕೇಡು ನೋಡಯ್ಯ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಯ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಅಂಧಕಾರದ ಕೇಡು ನೋಡಯ್ಯ, ಸತ್ಯದ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಅಸತ್ಯದ ಕೇಡು ನೋಡಯ್ಯ, ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ಶರಣರ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಆತ್ಮ ಎಂಬ ಅಹಂಕಾರದ ಕೇಡು ನೋಡಯ್ಯ. ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ನಾನು ಐಎಎಂ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾನು ಕನಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವೆನ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ joined MGNF, I didn't know anything. And during when I attended the interview faculty panel also, they said, Manjunath, English is not a mandatory. Your skills and knowledge is the most important. You are not talking about anything else. But initially, when I came, I am Bangalore. Completely panic, completely struck down initially. Day by day, Guru sir and other co-Karnataka fellows are given strength and all things. Then first DM, I joined district emergent. They are settled so many things. Initially, what was I do? I didn't know anything. Slowly, I can understand. I have taken a 1 year whole situation, understand. Then I started work, so many events. I implemented so many training strategy. I organized so many soft skill trainings and facilitated 1,500 students has been trained in soft skills for final results. Next one, our good DSTOs came and they suggest something. Then I implemented and monitoring, evaluation, quality control, some training centers. Actually, training centers was not good. Daily call and video call, some count the members with the support of the data entry operator, and then including the daily monitoring. These things also happen. So many number of I visited result associations. This it is not forgettable. Every moment is a learning, but I changed a lot. This is the main turning point. I grateful thanks all fellows, especially my mentors Vasanthi ma'am and Gopal sir. Yesterday, Guru sir is the backbone. When I was struck down, Manjunath, cool, I am with you. I am supportive. And then let's come to our forum director sir, Kamath madam and Anna sir, all team, they are supporting me. Finally, our all fellows, they was with me, especially Navneet, Kiran, these things. It is not no, but I don't know much of the words. Everyone, I learned lot. That is not expressed. This is my end. Thanks for everyone. Thank you.
Hi guys. So I think this program is one of the best thing happened in my life, but I'm kind of nervous. Sorry. But in these 2 years of fellowship, I have learned one thing, that there are many negative things like in the district and also here, like very much negative energies are there. Sorry. So yeah, like I have many ups and downs in these 2 years, yeah. But there are very much positive things happen here in Bangalore also. I have like made many great friends. So I think we should just like absorb the positive energies around us and ignore the negative ones. But if it like needed, we should speak up for ourselves also. So maybe in the district, in Odisha, like Jojo, Lisa, they have the toughest phase of their life, I guess. So, I mean, it is there in the district is needed to speak up for themselves. So maybe, yeah, we should speak up for ourselves when it is needed. But if we want to ignore few things, like ignore few people's, maybe some situations, we should do that as well. And that kind of helped me growing through these 2 years. And I think I have done my best in this like 2 years of fellowship. I am proud of myself that I am here right now. And I just wanted to say you all that please guys keep in touch. Maybe I haven't interacted with you all like in these 2 years personally, but I would love to stay connected with you all. Please keep in touch and all the best. You all.
Getting into this IIM itself a privilege, and to this great hall where three idiots sought is more than that. And many eminent person visited this campus and they spoke about, and getting that same opportunity by the faculties, it is not more than a dream. And as I already did my masters and worked for a long time, and getting the scope for being the student again, it gave me so many insights. I wanted to self-introspect, self-reflect, and these 2 years helped me to set my mind. And this campus and the humility of faculties is unmatchable. We had a different perception about IMB, but here we found ourselves very inclusive and part of this great institution. And we are all grateful for program directors and the people who worked day in, day out, SRA, PM, all people, they put their best energy, and these 2 years were a roller coaster, a great experience, and it will be a lifetime memory. I bonded with all the people. I think I had conversation and I loved to learn a lot. Peer learning, the best thing I will take, getting insights from different perspective, intellectual discussions ranges wide from different topics. So it will be always a lifetime memory, and this story will go time immemorial. Thank you, IMB and all the faculty.
So please come. But I just like to be mindful that lunch disappears at 2 o'clock. Okay, so yeah.
Hello, everyone.
मेरा मिजाज थोड़ा शायराना है तो वही चाहूंगी। अर्ज किया है इर्शा समय को बांधने वाले कब समय में बंध गए पता ही नहीं चला। समय को बांधने वाले कब समय में बंध गए पता ही नहीं चला। ये रास्ते नए पुराने कब मंजिल बन गए पता ही नहीं चला।
I just want to keep it very short. The whole thing. I mean, I first want to like to thank everyone and this whole experiences, and also this is a public service as like announcement to all the people who owe debt to Ashish Shetty currently. Please settle his splitwise, or else our certificates is in jeopardy. But I mean, the fun aside, I would like to thank everyone who is associated with this whole program, because coming from learning from grassroots level and me coming from a corporate background, it was a different learning experience. And talking to different fellows, I got a different perspective. So this is something that is very nuanced, and this is something that I couldn't have got elsewhere. So a big thanks to everyone. And I think it's not the end of the road for all of us. फिर मिलेंगे चलते चलते. So we'll see.
आदरणीय मुख्य अतिथि महोदय. So MGNF program से पहले I am Bangalore. The first time I actually saw the campus was through most of you guys जैसे आपने देखा. तो इस संस्थान ने MGNF के जरिए चमत्कार पे चमत्कार किए हैं. And I wanna just accommodate the fact that today we stood here in front of, this prestigious institution and did receive the honor and privilege. So, ज़्यादा शब्द नहीं है, but सबसे पहले थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगा पूरी टीम को, IM को एंड ऑल माय कलीग्स. कहते हैं लर्निंग्स कहीं से भी आती हैं. मेरा सबसे बड़ा इंस्पिरेशन यहाँ पे आई थिंक मंजुनाथ इज one of the most inspiring people I've met during this journey. And I think the first AM when I talked to him, and afterwards each AM whenever I used to touch him, he say, "Nitin, hello." I mean, I wouldn't even have to say a single word. He could recognize me through touch. So that kind of senses he has for this. And I want to say this, so many learning opportunities among all of you. And yeah, please be connected with each other, and hopefully we'll engage in the future. Thank you.
So this is Pranay from Puri district, Odisha. So first of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to the whole PMT team, to professors, to MST for providing us such an amazing opportunity, because it feels like tomorrow that it feels like yesterday we are in the hotel presidency, and it was during COVID time that we couldn't come to Bangalore for Academy Module 1. And we came to the hotel until the last moment. We didn't know about, I think, to be honest, whether you guys will agree or not, I don't know. But most of us had no idea about skill development, about what we are going to do in the district. We just allotted a district, but we didn't know what to do. We didn't have that roadmap. So we were uncertain about many things. And the best thing this fellowship taught me is about learning about myself. Because people say, this thing, we did this, we did that, but it learned a lot of things about myself. And it taught us to accept rejections, to accept failures. When you go to the line departments and you face failures, you have to go there again and again to persuade them, to tell that this will do or this won't do. But it's on their discretion whether they will do that or not. So this is just an amazing experience. I think one thing throughout our life, I think most of the fellows are under 30, and we have at least 3-4 decades where we have many stories to tell our future generation, because we learned a lot about different cultures, different challenging districts. Someone was saying about Mizoram, and we saw about Tripura,
where we talk about skill development, where the challenges are something else, skill development, how to push that. We saw that even in Odisha, there are the aspirational districts, our fellows who are working, they are pushing things. We know that whether we can do many things or not, but at least we can do something. This much we learned that even if we fail one time, we can rise up again. If we fail again, then we can find another way and then implement something else. And about the whole IIM experience, about the academic module, it is something else. I remember one session about Arnav sir where he was talking about there may be students or there may be fellows who are introvert, and I consider myself one of them, and who may not want to speak, but their personality shapes over the period of 2 years by the guidance of our faculty panel, by your presentation skills. I still remember the first presentation I put for FE1 program. Ma'am scolded me badly. But this is a presentation. I said, ma'am, this is the first time I am presenting. So this is a lifetime experience, and I am grateful to each one of us sitting here, and to everyone, and grateful to God for this amazing experience. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I know it's lunchtime, so I'll keep it short, just like my presentations. So the only thing that I want to mention is that some of the most beautiful people that I've met in my life are in MGNF. And the only thing that I regret is not meeting them earlier. Thank you.
Sorry to show you my face again. So this is the prequel. During the interview, I was told that I was overqualified for the program, but I think I have somehow convinced, and that's why I'm here. So this 2-year program was like, first year was like death for me, and this second year was like resurrection. So just like a seed, when somebody planted you in the ground, then only you start grow. So keep growing. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know most of us didn't know what MGNF was before coming here, because none of us have this aspiration to become an MGNF. So no, it was a thing like we